Admiral Jeho Park stood at the large window of the TSS Thunderbolt's bridge, watching the stars shine in the darkness of space. His ship was the pride of Earth's fleet, though many alien races did not know about its power yet. The bridge was quiet except for the soft beeping of computers and the low hum of the engines. "Admiral, we have an emergency signal," called out Commander Hannah Lee from her station. Her fingers moved quickly across the glowing screen. "It's from our research ship near Arcturus. They're under attack." Admiral Park turned away from the window. His face showed no fear, only calm determination. "Show me," he said. The main screen lit up with the message. Captain Sun Mi Kang's face appeared, her usual calm expression now tight with worry. "This is the research vessel Morning Star. 3 unknown alien ships have surrounded us. They call themselves the Celestial Concordat. They say humans are primitive and must submit to their rule. We need immediate assistance." The message ended with static. Admiral Park's jaw tightened. The Celestial Concordat was known for bullying what they called lesser species. They had not met humans before, and they clearly did not know what they were dealing with. "Set course for the Morning Star's location," Park ordered. "Maximum speed." The TSS Thunderbolt was Earth's most advanced warship. It looked beautiful and dangerous, like a silver arrow against the black of space. Its hull gleamed with special metals that could resist almost any weapon. Inside, quantum computers more powerful than anything the Concordat had ever seen controlled the ship's systems. Commander Hana watched her scanners carefully. 3 Concordat warships detected, she reported. "They're big, but their technology is not as advanced as ours. They're threatening the Morning Star with old-style plasma weapons." Admiral Park allowed himself a small smile. The Concordat would learn today that looking primitive and being primitive were 2 very different things. Humanity had chosen to keep their true power hidden until now, building their strength quietly while other races boasted and fought among themselves. "Lieutenant Du Yun, are our shields ready?" Park asked the ship's engineer. "Yes, Admiral. Quantum shields are at full power," Du Yun replied from his station. "They won't know what hit them." The Thunderbolt moved faster than any Concordat ship could track. Using special engines that bent space itself, they could cross vast distances in minutes instead of days. As they approached the attack site, Park could see the 3 alien ships on the main screen. They were large vessels with sharp, aggressive designs, painted in bright colors to show their importance. "They're sending us a message," Hannah announced. "Very demanding. They say we must surrender our vessel and accept their authority." She looked up at Park, waiting for his response. Admiral Park straightened his uniform and looked at each member of his bridge crew. They were ready. Humanity had prepared for this moment for years. Today, the Celestial Concordat would learn that judging a species by their apparent development was a dangerous mistake. "Send them our response," Park said calmly. "Tell them the TSS Thunderbolt is here to protect Earth's citizens, and inform them that they have exactly 5 minutes to withdraw, or they will learn exactly how primitive humanity really is." The bridge crew smiled at their stations. They knew what was coming. The Thunderbolt's weapons were powered up but hidden. Its shields were ready but invisible. The ship itself seemed to disappear and reappear as its stealth systems activated. Soon, the Celestial Concordat would learn an important lesson. Never judge a book by its cover, especially when that book comes from Earth. High Commander Xal of the Celestial Concordat stood proudly on his ship's command deck. His purple scales gleamed under the bright lights as he watched the small human research vessel through the main screen. To him, it looked weak and helpless, like all primitive ships did. "These humans dare to refuse our authority?" he asked, his voice filled with anger. "They send one ship against our fleet." The TSS Thunderbolt had appeared from nowhere, surprising the alien ships. At first, Zell thought his sensors were broken. No ship should be able to move that fast or appear so suddenly. On the research vessel Morning Star, Captain Sun Mi Kang watched the situation with growing confidence. She had worried when the Concordat ships first appeared, but now she smiled. The aliens had no idea what they were facing. "Your primitive vessel will be destroyed if you resist." Zell's message boomed across all channels. The celestial Concordat does not tolerate defiance from lesser beings. Admiral Park's response was simple. The Thunderbolt moved forward, its advanced engines making no sound in space. Suddenly, all three Concordat ships lost track of it on their sensors. "Impossible," Zell's sensor officer shouted. "The human ship, it's gone." "No ship can just disappear," Sal growled. "Find it." But the Thunderbolt hadn't disappeared. It had engaged its quantum stealth system, a technology the Concordat couldn't even imagine. The massive warship was now moving between the alien vessels, completely invisible to their scanners. Commander Hannah Lee smiled at her tactical station on the Thunderbolt. "They're trying to track us with basic radiation sensors," she reported. "Should we show them something interesting, Admiral?" Admiral Park nodded. "Let's give them a small demonstration." The Thunderbolt suddenly appeared right next to Xal's flagship. It was so close that the aliens could see every detail of its silver hull through their windows. The ship was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. "By the stars." Xal stumbled back from his viewing screen. "How did they get so close?" "Firing morning shots," Commander Hannah announced. The Thunderbolt's smallest weapons fired, sending tiny energy pulses that danced around the Concordat ships without hitting them. Each pulse showed power readings that made the alien sensors go crazy. On the Morning Star, Captain Sunmide watched the display with pride. "Look at their faces," she said to her crew. "They're starting to understand." The Concordat ships fired their weapons in panic. Green plasma bolts shot toward the Thunderbolt. But when they hit the quantum shields, something amazing happened. The shields didn't just block the attacks. They absorbed the energy and grew stronger. "Did you see that?" Sal's weapons officer asked in shock. "They're shields. They're impossible." Admiral Park stood calmly on his bridge. "Send them another message," he ordered. "Tell them that was just a taste of human technology. Ask them if they'd like to see more." The Thunderbolt's engines glowed with a soft blue light as it moved again, this time performing maneuvers that should have been impossible for a ship its size. It danced between the Concordat vessels like a leaf in the wind, showing speed and control that left the aliens speechless. "Perhaps," Admiral Park said to his crew, "it's time to show them why challenging humanity was their biggest mistake today." The alien ships hung motionless in space, their crews watching in stunned silence as the human warship continued its incredible display of power and technology. The lesson was clear. The celestial Concordat had greatly underestimated humanity, and now they were about to learn just how wrong they had been. Lieutenant Du-Yun Choi watched his engineering screens with calm interest as the Concordat ships fired another wave of plasma weapons at the Thunderbolt. The quantum shields didn't just block the attacks, they turned the enemy's energy into more power for the ship's systems. "Shield strength increasing by 12%, Du-Yun reported to Admiral Park. "Their weapons are actually making us stronger." On the main screen, High Commander Xal's face appeared again. His purple scales had turned pale with anger and fear. "This is impossible," he shouted. "No species at your level should have this technology. You must be using stolen weapons." Admiral Park smiled slightly. "No, Commander Xal. Everything you see was built by human hands. We simply chose not to show our true power until now." The Thunderbolt's quantum computers processed battle information faster than any alien system could match. Commander Hannah Lee's tactical display showed every weakness in the enemy ships, every possible target that could disable them without destroying them. "They're preparing to fire their main weapons," Hannah reported. Her fingers moved quickly across her control panel. "Energy buildup in their forward cannons." Admiral Park nodded calmly. "Let them fire. Du-Yun, show them what our shields can really do." The Concordat ships launched their strongest attack, 3 massive beams of energy, bright enough to light up space like small suns, shot toward the thunderbolt. On the Morning Star, Captain Sun Mei and her crew watched with excitement. They knew what was coming. When the beams hit the thunderbolt's shields, something amazing happened. The quantum shield technology didn't just stop the attack. It caught it. The energy hung in space around the human ship like a beautiful light show. Shields holding at maximum strength, Du Yun said proudly. Energy capture systems working perfectly. Then the thunderbolt did something that made the aliens gasp. It took their captured energy and sent it straight back, but not as a weapon. Instead, the energy formed words in space, written in the Concordat's own language. Shall we discuss peace? In the Concordat ships, sensor operators stared at their screens in disbelief. Their most advanced scanning systems couldn't even begin to understand how the human ship worked. It was like trying to understand space travel by looking at a candle. Admiral, Hannah said, they're sending another message. Their weapons are powering down. High Commander Xal's face appeared on screen again, but this time he looked different. The arrogance was gone from his eyes. How? He asked simply. How did your species advance so far without anyone knowing? Admiral Park stood straight and proud. We learned long ago that true power isn't about showing off. While others raced to build bigger weapons, we focused on smarter ones. While they conquered, we created. And now, perhaps, we can teach each other. The bridge crew of the Thunderbolt watched their screens as the Concordat ships slowly powered down their weapons. Lieutenant Du Yun's engineering display showed their energy levels dropping to peaceful levels. It seems they're ready to talk, Park said. Hannah, prepare to send them our first contact protocols. Du Yun, you can lower the shield display now. I think they've seen enough of our technology for one day. As the quantum shields returned to their invisible state, the stars became visible again. The human ship hung in space between the alien vessels, no longer showing off its power, but everyone knew it was there. Today, the celestial Concordat had learned that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their weapons, but in their wisdom to know when not to use them. Sergeant Jin Woo Kim sat at his combat station on the TSS Thunderbolt, working with the ship's advanced AI system. His fingers moved quickly across the glowing control panel as he studied the Concordat ship's weak points. The AI had already found several ways to disable the alien vessels without destroying them. Target analysis complete, Jin Woo reported to Admiral Park. Their engine cooling systems are vulnerable. One precise hit would shut them down without harming the crew. High Commander Xal was still hesitating, his ships neither attacking nor surrendering. The Concordat had never faced a situation like this before. They were used to being the strongest force in space. They're moving their ships into attack formation, Commander Hannah Lee announced from her tactical station. Energy readings suggest they're preparing for another attack. Admiral Park shook his head slowly. They still haven't learned. Jin Woo, show them how precise human weapons can be. The Thunderbolt's targeting systems were far beyond anything the aliens had ever seen. While their weapons could only hit large areas, human technology could target something as small as a coin from thousands of kilometers away. Jin Woo activated the targeting computer. The AI displayed a perfect 3D model of each enemy ship, highlighting the best points to strike. Ready to fire, Admiral. Non-lethal targets locked. Fire, Park ordered calmly. The Thunderbolt released 3 small energy pulses, each no bigger than a tennis ball. They moved so fast that the alien sensors couldn't even track them. Each pulse hit its target perfectly, slipping through tiny gaps in the Concordat ship shields. Inside the alien vessels, warning alarms started blaring. One by one, their main engines shut down. Emergency lights flickered on as their power systems went into safety mode. Direct hits on all targets, Jin Woo reported. Their engines are offline. Life support systems are undamaged. On the main screen, they could see the Concordat crews rushing around in confusion. Their mighty warships now floated helplessly in space, unable to fight or flee. High Commander Xal's voice came through the communication system, sounding much less confident than before. What? What did you do to our ships? We disabled your engines, Admiral Park replied. Your crews are safe, but your ships won't move until we allow it. This is what human precision technology can do. Captain Sun Mikang's voice came from the Morning Star. Admiral, their power readings are dropping. They couldn't restart their engines, even if they wanted to. The Thunderbolt's AI system displayed more information on Jinwoo's screen. It showed how the small energy pulses had created a cascade effect, safely shutting down all major systems while leaving life support intact. It was like performing surgery with a laser instead of a sword. Should I prepare the boarding protocols? Commander Hanna asked. Our engineering teams could help them restore basic power. Admiral Park considered this for a moment. Yes, but first, let's give them a chance to ask for help. Sometimes, the strongest message is showing kindness after victory. Jinwoo kept his weapons locked on the disabled ships, but he knew they wouldn't be needed. The Concordat had just learned that humanity's weapons were so advanced, they could choose exactly how much damage to cause. It was a power that demanded not just fear, but respect. From his combat station, Jinwoo could see the alien crews through the Thunderbolt's advanced sensors. They were no longer acting like proud conquerors. Instead, they looked like students who had just learned a very important lesson about judging others. The bridge of the TSS Thunderbolt suddenly lit up with a soft blue light. A holographic communication window appeared in the center of the room, showing Ambassador Yi Jinru's face. She had connected instantly from Earth using quantum communication technology, something the Concordat had never seen before. Admiral Park, Ambassador Yi Jin said with a gentle smile. I see our friends from the Concordat need some help understanding humanity's place in the galaxy. High Commander Xal's eyes widened as he watched the perfect hologram appear from nowhere. Even the best Concordat communication systems needed several minutes to send messages across such vast distances. But here was a human, talking in real time from their homeworld, as if she were in the same room. This is another trick, Xal said, but his voice showed he didn't believe his own words. No species can communicate instantly across space. Ambassador Yi Jin turned to face the alien commander's screen. The same way no species could have quantum shields or precise targeting systems. She asked politely, I think it's time we had an honest discussion about humanity's capabilities. Chief Science Officer Min Ho Song stepped forward on the Thunderbolt's bridge. He held a data tablet that displayed detailed technical information about Earth's technological advances. With your permission, Admiral, I can share some basic scientific data with the Concordat. Nothing classified, just enough to prove we developed all this technology ourselves. Admiral Park nodded. The Thunderbolt's computers began transmitting data to the disabled Concordat ships. The alien scientists who received it could hardly believe what they were seeing. The humans hadn't just matched Concordat technology. They had taken completely different paths to solve the same problems, often finding better solutions. As you can see, Ambassador Yi Jin explained, humanity chose to develop our technology quietly. We watched how other species used their power, and we decided to wait until we could be sure we would use it wisely. On his ship's command deck, Xal studied the human scientific data with growing amazement. These designs, they're beautiful in their simplicity. Why didn't you share this knowledge before? Would you have appreciated it? Ambassador Yi Jin asked gently. Or would you have seen it as a threat to your authority? Sometimes the best way to teach is to wait until the student is ready to learn. The Morning Star's Captain Sun Mai added her voice to the conversation. We've been studying your culture for months. We knew this confrontation would come eventually, but we hoped it would lead to understanding, not just victory. Through the quantum communication window, they could see Ambassador Yi Jin consulting with other human leaders back on Earth. They were already preparing welcome packages and cultural exchange programs for the Concordat. Your engines can be repaired easily, Min Ho explained to the alien engineers. In fact, we can show you how to make them work better than before. That is, if you're interested in learning from those you thought were primitive. High Commander Xal looked at his disabled ships, then at the advanced human vessel that had so easily overcome his forces. Finally, he turned to Ambassador Yi Jin's perfect hologram, a symbol of humanity's hidden progress. Perhaps, he said slowly, it is the Concordat who has been primitive in our thinking, if not our technology. Medical Officer Jia Yun walked through the corridors of the TSS Thunderbolt, carrying her advanced medical kit. The ship's transport system had just brought over several injured Concordat crew members. Their own medical technology couldn't help them, but human medicine could easily treat their wounds. GA entered the medical bay where 3 alien crew members lay on diagnostic beds. The room hummed softly as advanced scanners studied their biology. Lieutenant Ta-Wan Park stood nearby, recording everything for Earth's diplomatic archives. Your injuries aren't serious, Jia told the aliens in a calm voice. She held up a small device that looked like a silver pen. This will heal your wounds in minutes. Please try to stay still. The aliens watched in amazement as the device sent out a soft blue light. Where it touched their injuries, the wounds began to heal instantly. Even their own best medical technology needed days to do what this human device did in moments. How is this possible? One of the alien engineers asked, watching his burned arm heal completely. Our medical sciences say this kind of rapid healing cannot be done. Jia smiled as she moved to the next patient. Human bodies heal naturally in similar ways. We just learned how to make the process faster. Sometimes the simplest answer is the best one. On the bridge, Admiral Park and High Commander Xal were having their first friendly conversation. The Thunderbolt's computers translated their words perfectly, even matching tone and emotion. We have peaceful relations with 12 other species, Park explained. Each one teaches us something new. The Concordat could join this alliance if you wish. Xal looked surprised. You mean you don't want to conquer us, even after we threatened you? Conquering is easy, Park replied. Building trust is harder, but it lasts longer. Look at your crew members in our medical bay. We help because we can, not because we must. Lieutenant Ta-Wan's data pad showed images from other human ships across the galaxy. There were scenes of humans working with various alien species, sharing technology, and solving problems together. Your people have done all this in secret, Sal asked, studying the images. While we boasted about our power, you were quietly building something much greater. In the medical bay, the last injured alien was almost healed. GA showed them how the medical device worked, explaining its basic principles. The aliens listened carefully, their earlier fear replaced by genuine interest. Our leaders always told us that humans were primitive, one of the healed crew members said. But your technology, your methods, your ideas, they're all so advanced. Why didn't you prove them wrong before? Because true strength isn't about proving others wrong, Jia answered as she put away her medical tools. It's about being ready to prove them right when they finally see the truth. The Thunderbolt systems continued recording everything, documenting this historic first step toward friendship between humans and the Concordat. In the ship's databanks, Lieutenant Ta-Wan added a personal note. Today marks not just a display of human power, but a demonstration of human wisdom. The Concordat came expecting to find primitives. Instead, they found teachers. Security Chief Hyun Woo-shin walked through the conference room of the TSS Thunderbolt, carefully checking all systems before the important meeting. High Commander Xal had requested a private conversation with Admiral Park, and both sides needed to feel safe and comfortable. The room's quantum sensors hummed quietly, monitoring everything but staying hidden from view. Hyunwoo had designed the security systems himself, making them powerful yet invisible. Like most human technology, they showed their strength through what they could do, not how they looked. The room is ready, Hyunwoo reported to Admiral Park. The translation systems are working perfectly, and the quantum shields are active but invisible. High Commander Xal entered the room slowly, his purple scales now showing a calmer shade. He looked different from when the conflict had started just hours ago. The arrogance in his movements was gone, replaced by something that looked like respect. "Admiral Park," Faisal said, sitting down at the conference table. "I must admit something. When we first encountered your research vessel, we thought we knew everything about humanity. We were very wrong." Park nodded, his expression friendly but serious. "Many species make that mistake, Commander. They see what they expect to see, not what is actually there." The holographic display between them showed images from Earth's history. It revealed how humans had developed their technology in secret, learning from each discovery, always moving forward, but never bragging about their progress. "Your people have achieved so much," Zal said, watching the images. "Yet you chose to stay quiet about it. In your position, the Concordat would have conquered half the galaxy by now." "And that," Park replied, "is exactly why we didn't reveal our true power until we had to. Power without wisdom is like a weapon without a safety switch. Sooner or later, it causes harm." Hyunwoo watched from his security station as the two leaders talked. The quantum sensors showed that both were being honest, their vital signs indicating genuine interest in understanding each other. "We've seen many advanced species," Zal admitted, "but none quite like humans. You have the power to dominate, yet you choose to cooperate. You have weapons that could destroy us, yet you use them to disable and protect." Admiral Park gestured to the window, where both the Thunderbolt and the Concordat ships floated in space. "Look at our vessels, Commander. Yours are designed to show power. Ours are designed to use power wisely. That's the real difference between us." The conference room systems recorded everything, adding to humanity's growing database of first contact experiences. Each meeting like this helped humans understand other species better, and helped other species understand humans. "The Concordat will need to change," Zal said finally. "Our belief in superiority through force. It seems primitive compared to your approach. Will you help us learn?" Admiral Park smiled warmly. "That's all we ever wanted, Commander. Not to prove our power, but to share our understanding. After all, the greatest technology in the universe is worthless without the wisdom to use it correctly." Ambassador Yi-Jin Ryu stood in the Thunderbolt's main conference room, surrounded by both human and Concordat representatives. The quantum communication system displayed officials from Earth, their images perfectly clear despite being light years away. Everyone had gathered to witness the signing of the peace treaty. "This agreement," Ambassador Yi-Jin explained, holding up a data tablet, "marks the beginning of cooperation between humanity and the Celestial Concordat. We will share knowledge, not weapons. We will exchange ideas, not threats." High Commander Xal, now wearing the peaceful blue robes of a Concordat diplomat, nodded in agreement. "My people have much to learn from humans," he said, "not just about technology, but about how to use power wisely." Admiral Park watched as Captain Sun Mikang entered the room. Her research vessel, the Morning Star, would now become something special. The first joint human Concordat scientific mission. The ship that had started as a target would become a symbol of unity. "Our sensors and research equipment have already been upgraded with human technology," Sun Mai reported. "The Concordat scientists are eager to begin working with our team." Commander Han Ali, who had managed the Thunderbolt's weapons during the conflict, now worked with Concordat officers to create new safety protocols. "Their ships are being fitted with emergency quantum communications," she said. "If they ever need help, Earth will know instantly." The treaty signing ceremony began. The document wasn't just words on a screen. It was written in quantum ink that could never be changed or copied. This was human technology at its finest, used to build trust rather than show power. "Let this day be remembered," Ambassador Yi-Jin said as she signed her name, "not as the day humanity proved its strength, but as the day two cultures chose to become stronger together." Lieutenant Du-Yun Choi, who had managed the Thunderbolt's incredible shields, now helped Concordat engineers understand human technology. "Your ships have great potential," he told them. They just need to be used differently. As the ceremony concluded, Admiral Park and High Commander Xal shook hands. The gesture was new to the Concordat leader, but he understood its meaning. Equals meeting in friendship, not enemies facing in battle. If anyone had told me this morning that we would end the day as allies, Xal said, I would have called them crazy. Now I understand that the truly crazy thing was thinking we knew everything about humanity. The Morning Star prepared for its first mission with its new mixed crew. Captain Sunmai watched as human and Concordat scientists worked together, already sharing ideas and solving problems as one team. Commander Hannah, Admiral Park called from his position near the window. Please make a final entry in the ship's log. Hannah nodded and began to record. Today marks not just a victory for humanity's technology, but for our wisdom. The Concordat came looking for primitives to conquer. Instead, they found teachers and friends. As we look to the stars, we carry this lesson. True power isn't in the weapons we build, but in the bridges we create. The TSS Thunderbolt's quantum engines hummed softly as Earth's most powerful warship prepared to escort the Morning Star on its first joint mission. In the darkness of space, human and alien ships now flew together, their crews united in the pursuit of knowledge rather than power.